So for lesson one, I want to start trying to dive more into color and color models. Um, so we're going to go over first talking about RGB uh, and how to measure RGB. And what RGB means is R is for red, G is for green, and B is for blue. So go ahead and open an image called RGB additive. Um, and once you have that open, the next thing I want you to do is go ahead and grab your eyedropper tool on your toolbar. You can go ahead and hit I and it'll pop up. And then the next thing I want you to do is go up to your window and pull up the color panel. You'll see I have it right here. And then the next step I want you to do is in your color panel, go ahead and click on the little hamburger menu, as I like to call it, and go ahead and make sure that you have RGB sliders open. Once you have RGB sliders open and your eyedropper tool selected, I want you to go ahead and click on the black part of this image. And I want you to notice in your color panel, the RGB sliders are all set at 0. So black is a mixture of 0, so no color. Then go ahead and click on your white and notice that your sliders have all turned to 255, 255, 255. So this means the maximum amount of light. So RGB is measured from 0 to black, from 0 from black to 255 all the way across for white. So all the colors in between are a mixture of 0 and 255. So go ahead and click on the red circle in your picture and notice that we now have full red, 255, and we have 0 green and 0 blue. Go ahead and slide the red slider all the way to the right, and you'll see you get black again. Go ahead and click on the green circle, and you'll see that we have full green now, 255 for green, and then 0 for red and 0 for blue. And go ahead and slide the red slider all the way to the right. And then that makes yellow. So red and green in full force make yellow. And then if you drag the blue slider, you'll see we're back to white, to pure white. If you do all three of these sliders in the approximate middle, what do you think that's going to make if they're all in the middle? Any guesses? About gray. So that's a quick review of RGB. Take your tool and click around and try to get an idea of, full magenta is full red and full blue. So just kind of trying to understand how color works. The next file I want you to look at is the file called CMY subtractive color. So CMYK, something really important to remember about CMYK in Photoshop is although you can set your color values to CMYK, the actual display that you're seeing is in RGB because monitors only see in RGB color, can only display additive color, so bright. Think of it as your screen is bright, which is light, which is additive, and CMYK is the opposite of that. It's subtractive color. So this time we're going to go ahead and change our eyedropper still picked. I want you to go up to your color panel and I want you to select the CMYK sliders now. So C stands for Cyan, M stands for Magenta, Y stands for yellow, and K stands for black. So go ahead and click on the white in this picture. And you'll see that all these values are set to 0. So 0% means white for CMYK. If you click on black, it's 100%. So CMYK color mode works in a percentage between 0 and 100%. So go ahead and slide the cyan and yellow sliders all the way to the right to 100%. Sorry, I'm going to slide these guys. And you'll see that if you have 0% cyan and 0% K, and you have a full 100% magenta and yellow, you get red. Um, and if you slowly slide the black to the right, you'll see that color of red slowly starts to darken. So we're adding a little black. So you add 50% black, you get kind of a nice maroon color. Just for fun, try to adjust these sliders and see if you can get orange. So maybe you want to add a little bit of black and maybe a little bit more yellow. So it's this like percentage mixture. And then of course, go ahead and click around the yellow. You'll see this is 100% yellow. Green are cyan and yellow mixed together. So it kind of makes sense. It's like what you learned when you were a little kid, when you were painting and mixing colors. Magenta, 100% magenta. So that is CMYK, which is used for printing, remember, and RGB, which is used for screen.